You've often said that your fashion photographs were meant to be portraits of human beings as well as illustrations of their ideas. Did this mean that you spent time forming a relationship with the people whom you photographed, that you really felt that you had to know them and what they were about in order to portray them in any significant way, or were they prototypes or metaphors for something?
No prototypes at that time. They're all tremendous characters, you know. And the people, I love people, I love to photograph people, I love to feel what is, you know, and get at them, you know, and bring out the, you know, their qualities rather. And that interests me very much. You know, that's, I think, what interests me most. I'm doing now a book on movie actors.
Horst P. Horst emerged as a trailblazer in the realms of fashion and portrait photography, playing a pivotal role in shaping the course of 20th century photographic artistry. With a career spanning 6 decades, his journey was a tapestry of diversity and ingenuity. During that era, he contributed to the world by creating more than 90 covers for Vogue magazine, and an extensive collection of other magazine visuals that could potentially number in the thousands. He gained significant recognition primarily for his exceptional ability to capture the very essence of high fashion in the 1930s. However, his influence went beyond just fashion. He ventured into the pioneering realms of color photography and made a significant impact in candid travel photography and celebrity photography. His mastery over manipulating light and composing memorable visuals became his trademark. He seamlessly blended the worlds of fashion, art, and the upper echelons of society in his work. In doing so, he accomplished way more than just depicting the spirit of his era. He also reflected it, infusing the core essence of those times into the frames of his photographs. And so, for those reasons, let's shine the spotlight onto Horst P. Horst. Horst P. Horst was born as Horst Paul Albert Bormann, a second child in a middle-class merchant family. When he was a teenager, Horst had to spend a year in a Swiss sanatorium because he showed signs of tuberculosis. During this time, feeling bored and lonely, he read about the modern ideas from the Bauhaus, a famous German art and design school. This experience sparked Horst's lifelong interest in new and creative art and architecture. Wanting to learn more, in 1926, Horst began studying architecture at a vocational art school in Hamburg. His teacher there was Walter Gropius, who was a founder of the Bauhaus and a well-known architect. This period of learning marked the start of Horst's artistic journey, shaping his path in a significant way. In 1930, Horst made his way to Paris with the aim of apprenticing under Le Corbusier, a modern architect. However, destiny took an unexpected turn as he crossed paths with George Hoyningen Huhn, a photographer at French Vogue. This encounter opened the doors to a captivating world of fashion photography. Horst joined forces with Huhn, becoming his photography assistant, eagerly absorbing every piece of knowledge he could about the craft. Their bond deepened into a romantic relationship, and their shared journey led them to London, where Horst would go on to meet Cecil Beaton. The transition to becoming a photographer was marked by a pivotal moment in 1931. At the behest of a friend, Horst met Dr. Aga, an art director from American Vogue, who suggested he give photography a shot.
I said, I don't know anything about cameras. I've never taken a photograph in my life. I've never seen an elegant woman in my life. I don't know anything about dresses or fashion or anything. He said, you go and do it. I went there, he let me have the studio. He said, twice a week for 3 hours. I went. And there was a model, all dressed up, and of course the assistant was there. He knew the technical part of photography.
Had you ever used a camera before?
Never.
Horst's connection with Huhn not only enriched his photographic skills, but also introduced him to the vibrant Parisian society. Their social circle included an array of artists, designers, and patrons, creating an atmosphere that Horst described as warm and friendly, where luminaries like Chanel and Pablo Picasso mingled seamlessly. By the mid-1930s, Horst had outshone his mentor. His captivating images graced the pages of French Vogue, as well as its British and American counterparts. While initially drawing inspiration from classical sculptures in the Louvre, Horst's artistry evolved under the influence of surrealists like Man Ray and Salvador Dali. This period coincided with the rise of color photography, a realm that Horst wholeheartedly embraced, resulting in iconic Vogue covers. His willingness to explore innovative techniques and fuse fresh ideas played a pivotal role in his rise to prominence within the Vogue community. Take this photo, for example. Horst's Mainbocher Corset is a timeless fashion photograph featuring Madame Bernan wearing a pink satin corset from Maine Rousseau Bacher's 1939 collection. The image is sensual, with the corset against bare skin creating a striking contrast. Horst's skillful use of light and shadows add an elegant touch, while the gap in the corset suggests something hidden. This picture carries emotional weight. It was taken as Horst left Paris on the brink of World War II, signifying a farewell to both the city and to an era. In August 1939, just before World War II ignited, Horst left Paris and made his way to New York City. The onset of the war reshaped the fashion landscape as dresses stopped flowing from Paris to the United States. This transformation spurred the growth of the American fashion industry, leading to a shift in fashion photography. So Horst started working with Condé Nast, where he contributed his photographic talent to Vogue and Vanity Fair, stationed at their Manhattan studio. Between January 1939 and September 1942, Horst created 34 covers for American Vogue, many with red, white, and blue themes, echoing the wartime spirit. This particular photo graced the cover of both American and British Vogue in 1939, with its relevant color scheme for both nations. In this image, model Muriel Maxwell applies lipstick, a departure from the formal compositions seen before, showcasing a shift from classical black and white styles. Horst's preference evolved as he aimed for clear, brightly colored photos. The photo captures a bold positivity featuring iconic sunglasses by Lugine and a bag by Paul Flado, the red elements harmonizing with the lipstick. During the war, looking glamorous was encouraged as a morale boost, especially in the UK under strict rationing where beauty is your duty became a motto. Red lips symbolize resilience, and Horst's photo underlines this with its focus on the vivid scarlet lipstick. When the United States entered the war in late 1941, Horst, being a non-citizen, had to entrust his camera gear to Vogue for safekeeping. His perseverance and industry allies' support allowed him to keep working until he officially became an American citizen in 1943. Alongside this transition, he changed his surname from Bormann to Horst to avoid association with Nazi figure Martin Bormann. In 1943, Horst was called upon for U.S. Army duty. After a few months, Edna Woolman Chase, Vogue's editor-in-chief, facilitated a more fitting role for Horst. He became a photographer for Army publications like Yank and Outfit. Through this role, he captured images of figures like President Truman and General Eisenhower. Post-war, Horst resumed his association with Condé Nast, delving back into fashion photography. He continued to photograph both couture pieces and the emerging ready-to-wear styles from the United States. In 1946, Horst embarked on a personal project, crafting a book called Patterns from Nature. This compilation showcased close-up, monochrome photographs of natural elements like plants and shells. Inspired by the likes of Karl Blossfeldt and the New Objectivity movement, it showcased a mastery of lighting techniques. In 1948, he initiated a long-standing relationship with British diplomat Valentine Lawford, and the two explored the Middle East, photographing historical sites such as Persepolis. By 1950, Lawford joined Horst in the United States, leaving behind his diplomatic career, and their journey continued as they shared their lives on Long Island. When Condé Nast shuttered its New York studio in 1952, Horst established his own studio on East 55th Street. The ample windows in his new creative space sparked his experimentation with natural lighting, a departure from his hallmark play with shadows. Amidst this phase, changes within Vogue's editorial leadership, coupled with shifting magazine dynamics, created a rift for Horst. Consequently, his focus shifted from the magazine's core content to advertising campaigns and lifestyle photography. He also crafted a striking series of male nude portraits in this time, marked by his signature dramatic lighting, which earned an exhibition in Paris in 1953. This nude image is part of a series Horst crafted in the early 1950s, portraying a youthful man in an athletic pose, arching backwards with arms raised and a knee lifted, creating a central focus on his groin area. The series features anonymous men posed to accentuate their bodies' shapes, enhanced by focused lighting that crafts highlights and deep shadows. The outcome exudes minimalism, rendering the bodies with simplicity and smoothness reminiscent of marble sculptures. Horst's intention is evident, to evoke a sense of appreciation for the male form, akin to the admiration for classical nudes. Horst's homosexuality, known within his fashionable and artistic circles, remained unspoken publicly due to the era's constraints. Amid the McCarthyism era, any allegations could jeopardize his career. As art historian Oliver Winchester notes, Horst deftly applied the artistry of fashion photography to the socially sensitive realm of male bodies, cleverly alluding without outright stating, crafting a nuanced impact through technique alone. As we've seen, Horst seamlessly blended surrealist elements into his photographs, merging fashion with artistry and fantasy. This integration occurred as Surrealism was gaining wider attention, influencing advertising and film. Horst's incorporation of modern art into his work aided in disseminating this movement, making unconventional art more accessible and accepted. As the New York Times noted in 1996, Horst tamed the avant-garde to serve fashion. Horst's fascination with Surrealism was kindled by personal connections with figures like Salvador Dali, Man Ray, and Surrealist fashion pioneer Elsa Schiaparelli. He photographed Dali's ballet costumes for Bacchanal and his designs for the Dream of Venus pavilion at the 1939 New York World Fair. Horst also captured iconic portraits of Schiaparelli and Dali. Notably, his work for American Vogue in the early 1950s incorporated Marcel Vertez's backgrounds, reflecting Surrealist influences. This specific image features a peculiar mannequin shape and obscured face under a hat, reminiscent of distorted human forms in Dali and Max Ernst paintings and Magritte's concealed faces. The blend of two-dimensional painted props and the vibrant model blurs reality, acknowledged in the caption. A dress of poppy cotton organdie puffing wide over a taffeta underskirt. The setting, the studio of a mythical and most contrariwise painter. Out of a surrealistic still life, he creates a portrait of alive and classic beauty. The arrival of Diana Vreeland as Vogue's editor in 1962 breathed new life into Horst's career. She enlisted Horst and Lawford to contribute to the Fashions in Living pages, a collaborative effort where Horst's images accompanied Lawford's written narratives. This collaboration spanned the 1960s and 70s, extending to House and Garden magazine as well. These spreads garnered praise from their subjects, with fashion icon Emilio Pucci lauding Horst's artistry. Horst's creative essence experienced a revival in 1978 when he was entrusted with capturing the Paris collections for French Vogue, harkening back to his techniques from the 1930s, including images like this, which was commissioned for a provocative 1988 advertising campaign by round-the-clock hosiery. Each ad displayed a striking black and white photograph of women's legs in the brand's hosiery, captioned "Pantyhose for Men." The style of these shots harkens back to Horst's 1930s fashion photography, employing deep shadows and vivid highlights with lateral light sources. Elements of Surrealism also echo his early interests, showcased by cropped and fragmented figures. In this image, the legs seem to emerge from a wide net petticoat, evoking a torso-less form. Despite generating backlash for its objectification of women, the campaign successfully increased brand recognition by 30%. Horst's esteemed reputation and extensive career lent a degree of legitimacy to the campaign, as acknowledged by the agency's chairman, who defended the images by asserting that Horst's involvement elevated them beyond pornography into the realm of art. While Horst's initial forays into fashion photography defined the glamorous zenith of the 1930s, his artistic evolution remained dynamic. He readily embraced novel aesthetics, demonstrating this by pioneering the use of color techniques and delving into documentary travel photography, effectively introducing and spreading these innovative notions. He truly embodied the 20th century, remarked photographer Eric Bowman. Model Carol Alt, who collaborated with Horst during the 1970s and 80s, attested to his unique touch, noting that he imprinted a part of himself into every photograph. Despite his monumental status in the realms of fashion and photography, Alt describes him as unassuming, gentle, and almost unaware of his significant role in shaping these histories. Madonna's music video for the song Vogue, released in 1992, stands as a tribute to Horst's distinctive style, underscoring his enduring influence on the cultural landscape. His series of nudes from the 1950s exerted a profound influence on the photography of Robert Mapplethorpe and Bruce Weber during the 1980s. Weber himself said that Horst's pictures took you to another place. It's like seeing someone from another world, he says, and you wonder who that person is, and really want to know that person, and really want to fall in love with that person. Horst P. Horst's legacy is a luminous tapestry woven with threads of innovation, elegance, and artistic exploration. From his early days in the world of design and architecture to his transformation into an iconic photographer, Horst's journey traversed decades and continents, leaving an indelible mark on the realms of fashion, art, and visual storytelling. Through his lens, the golden age of glamour found eternal expression, capturing not just couture, but the spirit of an era. Horst's ability to meld elegance with innovation created timeless images that continue to inspire generations of photographers and other artists. His bold experimentation with color, light, and shadow showcased his fearless pursuit of new horizons, resulting in groundbreaking techniques that became milestones in the evolution of photography. Yet, beyond the technique and aesthetics, Horst's photographs possess an ineffable quality, an ability to evoke emotions and tell stories, each frame offering a glimpse into a world both familiar and fantastical. His nudes, his fashion spreads, his portraits, they all carry an imprint of his spirit, his perception, and his desire to connect with his subjects on a profound level. I know this is going to sound like a bold claim, but Horst's influence continued to ripple out, shaping the very fabric of contemporary photography. His legacy continues to remind us that true artistry is an eternal journey, an exploration that reaches beyond the confines of time, connecting us with the past, inspiring us in the present, and guiding us toward a future illuminated by the brilliance of creativity. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on the work of Horst P. Horst. If you couldn't tell, I've been sort of on a fashion photography kick lately with my video last month about Erwin Blumenfeld and this one about Horst P. Horst. There's something just about portrait photography and fashion photography that's scratching a particular itch for me right now. So you could probably expect some more videos of other fashion photographers. And that being said, let me know in the comments who you think I should cover next. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when other videos like this are released. And as always, we're going to end the video with some more photos by Horst P. Horst, and I'll see you all next time.